I want to say that Fulham became good against us, but we were just bad.
No, they're your rivals. They are your direct rivals. Do you know that?
No, I know, but it's like my whole thing is.
I needed to try give some insight into the wounded, destroyed, impoverished, embattled mind of one Ryan Tinline.
He's unraveling it.
He says, did you hear what he was saying there?
What?
I would say Fulham became good against us. We're trying to explain to him the rivalry. Guys, Fulham is too upper class for Chelsea.
Honestly.
Historically.
Exactly.
And there's no Mitrovic. That's the worst part.
Chelsea are lottery winners who ended up with some grandfather had a prime piece of real estate in London.
And they milked it. But now the chickens have come home to roost because the drunk uncles come to collect.
Working title FC on a Sunday. On a Sunday, we took a chance here doing a show on a Sunday. We arrive at the studio to discover... I knew this, but I also didn't know this. I didn't think about it. There is church in the building. Church is in the house.
Well, some teams need some divine intervention. So
It's apt. It's apt. So if you perhaps hear some church goings on in the background throughout the course of the show, it's not Ryan calling for divine intervention. No. It is our neighbors. But we think it's good. We think it's good. Ryan doesn't have too far to go. He just goes down one flight of stairs.
one flight of stairs, restores his faith. It gives him something to believe in,
Exactly.
Also,
exactly.
I suppose if you want to join the church, you're more than welcome to.
Well, we're all at the church of Senzo and I at the church of Eric Ten Hag. That is our new minister who is leading us bravely.
Amen.
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 So it's very different. It's quite weird. So we were planning to maybe do the show yesterday. Okay, I've had a bit of a think about it. Things didn't really work out.
But also yesterday would have been... It would have been rushed.
It was the derby yesterday.
It would have been different because we would have opened up totally abusing Ryan.
Oh,
Totally abusing. I had a whole section planned of which I'm probably still going to throw out how a Joao will always let you down.
and it's better now that you won, hey?
Now it's like I come from a position of authority.
All I'm saying is you should not have won that game yesterday.
We did.
No, but you shouldn't have.
But we did. You worry about your dogfight. Don't worry about things that don't concern
Peter
you.
Cech himself put out a tweet yesterday saying the very people that made that decision, it proves to show they don't know the game. Come on.
Peter Cech is a Chelsea guy. He's got a relegation dogfight on his end, so he mustn't worry about matters.
He's no longer Chelsea, just by the way. He did.
He also played for Arsenal, so now he's an Arsenal. Okay.
So let's talk about it, right? Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1. Okay.
Say it again.
Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1.
Thank you.
United have won games before. We've beaten City.
Yeah.
There just seems something different about this one.
And also coming from behind. Yeah.
There does seem something different. Okay, Senzo, you and I are the United fans. And you guys must enjoy your sweets. Enjoy your sweet treats, your jelly tots. It's no problem. The show's happening on a Sunday, guys. It doesn't matter. Have sweets. That's fine.
I'm a sweet guy, bro.
Have your sweets there, right? So...
Senzo just to say you got busted.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You got it. Just do it. Don't try to hide it, man. Don't try
I'm
to
not
hide
hiding anything.
Don't worry. Church is out of session.
Bro, you should have gone and prayed for Chelsea today. Did you contribute?
I went downstairs and I gave them a collection.
Oh,
they were busy doing the collection
you good
plate.
man.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wait, now to that now.
I did. I gave them. I said, add this to
You're
the.
good, okay?
I didn't do that. I'm joking.
Oh, Jesus! I was gonna say, geez, no, but I don't know if you're joking or being genuine.
I thought they were pass the tithe on to Ten Hag.
Nah,
he's
they need it for the window.
Not only did I not give a collection, I drank some of their coffee.
Oh yes, you. No, but the Lord,
the
Lord
Lord giveth.
people.
Yeah, He giveth. I had no coffee, and they had nice coffee that I was like, they're not gonna miss a spoon.
Can I tell you about Jesus oats? Can I tell you about church and stuff?
Whoa! Think there before you go. Just
must I tell you about
self-edit yourself because I'm not gonna edit. I have no time to edit.
Do you know at Opi you get a Christian fellowship, and they're the nicest.
I want to see where this is going.
No, they're the nicest people ever. They're the nicest guys ever. They don't even try to recruit you. Let's say you go. No.
They're not Scientologists.
They're not like Jehovah's Witness, but that's a story for another time. What, like, people are so, like, drunk and, like, people don't know where their tents are. Then you get the church people that come, they give you coffee, they chat to you. And then they let you go on your merry way. And they help you find your tent, and they'll say,
no, trust me, I know being a Chelsea fan, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Oh, the Lord taketh away now. The Lord has come to collect.
There's something so interesting about what's going on here right now. Because in our history of all knowing each other, right, it's United have been in the dumps.
Like bad.
Right, and Chelsea have just been always Chelsea.
And they've won European titles. And
doing all their things. They've been European champions in between, you're right. I think Europa League as well they won. Finishing well in the league. I think they've won a league title recently. And it's quite interesting to see the dynamic and how mouthy Ryan Senzo is now with a good United.
It has actually been the most annoying thing. It's been the most annoying thing over the last week because, so just for those of you who don't know, if you're new to the pod, we were part of an old show, and there was certain rivalries going on, as you can hear. Senzo's chewing on those sweets now, so now he's a little bit silent. But Senzo and I have a history of going at one another.
I don't guard Ryan. Ryan just wants to come for me.
I never used to take it that seriously, but then this year United were in the dumps so bad. I did cross a few lines. I think
you did. You really did.
And I kind of dug my own grave at that point. So, yeah, when it comes to Senzo, if you're new to the pod, what I like to do is I'll speak to Paulo the day before. Okay, we were recording the pod tomorrow. And the thing is, to get Senzo here and on his game, I need to, like, rile him a bit, So I'll be like, yo, Senzo, your team did shit today. Or, you know what I mean? And then, yo, Paulo, I've regretted doing that because he goes on a tyrant and he outs me on social media.
I told you, yours is
he becomes violent, but all I'm trying to do is trying to get him the best version of himself for the pod.
You can't do that. You can only do that if United win trebles.
See?
Then I'll be unplayable.
Yesterday, Paulo and I went out to a bar to watch the football. I think you also went, but you went with your other friends.
No. I stayed at home.
Oh, did you stay? Why? You should have come. We invited you.
Bro. Games like that. Last time I went to watch a Liverpool United game out. I caught 5 and I was like, never again.
Because Ryan, did you notice how I wasn't wearing any United thing? I wasn't wearing United
I noticed
anything.
Because we were in the West Strand. We went to a bar in the West Strand, and I don't normally draw on the West Strand, but I do know there's a few watering holes that we go to that side. And for some reason, there was no City supporters at all. Did you notice that?
City fans don't exist.
There's no
City fans are only born after 2008.
No, I know, but this is the thing, like. There are recent City fans, so I'm expecting, but I think it's a North thing. Like, when you go to bars in the North, now you just see City fans everywhere because they were winning at one point.
Let me break it down for you. This is so City fans, people only support City if they're from Manchester or they were born after 2008. Am I fair in assuming that, Paulo?
No, that is fair. And also, they've kind of got a rotation. So they'll go to Total Sports at the beginning of each new season, buy a PSG shirt,
yes.
A Barcelona shirt,
a Chelsea shirt,
and a Chelsea or City shirt.
A Chelsea or City shirt,
and just depending, they hedge their bets. So now all the City shirts are being put away, and they're going, oh, let's maybe just keep the PSG shirts.
But also, isn't half of City's fan base disgruntled Arsenal fans?
Also, Al Nassr now falling into that category as well.
Jeez, if you can get your hands on
Al Nassr,
yeah, you can.
Did Ronaldo score yesterday? He couldn't have because the internet didn't break.
Yeah, the internet would have been broken.
No, can I tell you, I was laughing yesterday when we were watching this derby because Jack Grealish comes on. Now, Jack Grealish is one of my favorite players because he's not a starter, but whenever he comes on, he's got the swagger about him. He can just go through that any defense.
He's just vibes.
Like a hot knife through butter. Exactly.
Jack Grealish is vibes FC.
Yeah.
And watching him yesterday, he comes on, he scores, and he looks into the camera like he's won the game. But and I'm like, I'm for this for Jack Grealish.
It's a derby, bro. It's a derby. You're always going to go nuts. Scoring at Old Trafford in your first derby, it would get to you.
I want him at. I said this on the last part. I want him at Chelsea.
You guys want everybody.
So let's get into it. Let's get some structure here because we're kind of going into our old show territory. I'm about to ask you guys for your love lives and talk about that for the next hour. Okay, let's talk football.
Wow. Wow.
We were all there. We were all part of it.
Wow.
We all complicit.
We were there.
We all played.
We let it happen.
We all played along, right? So let's go to United game first, right? Senzo, that goal was off. The first goal was offside.
It was so
Definitely.
offside.
Definitely.
It was fraud alert.
Definitely. Did you hear?
There must be something wrong with
Wait,
there
hold
must
on.
be something wrong with the microphones here because I asked Senzo and then Ryan's
Yeah,
shouting
bro.
at us. I think there's
And
a
Chelsea-
crossover.
No, because
He's got bigger problems, really.
I've put this all over social media. I sent this to the group yesterday. I put it on Twitter. And Senzo has been in denial the whole time. He comes on the podcast. He's like, yes, it was. I'm expecting to put up a whole damn fight here. And he gives in right away. He's like, no, it was 100% offside.
Bro, the thing is, like, I'm not talking to you. You got a dogfight on your hands. I'm talking, like, no, but it was, though, because it was also what, did you hear what Sean Wright Phillips and Michael Owen said afterwards? Which I 100% agree with. Marcus Rashford changes his run. And that definitely affects the way Akanji is looking at it. And it affects what Edison does. So Edison's like, oh, obviously he's offside. They're gonna blow it. But due to a technicality, and also the way
What
Dermot
was the technicality?
the way Dermot McGallagher was explaining it afterwards, I was like, no, man, he's definitely affected play because now Akanji's like, okay, this guy's offside anyway, so it doesn't matter if I catch him. You know what I mean?
But what's affecting play? Because, I mean, listen, I don't buy the thing. Like, if you're on the field, you're affecting play, right?
Fair.
Because no matter what it is, okay, that's right in front of you. You as a player are looking at another player. So
Yeah.
that's a very extreme situation, but you're always affecting play.
Sure.
Right? If you're in a position like that. But, I mean, technically, he doesn't touch the ball.
He didn't, though.
He doesn't touch it. So,
And also VAR said,
and then, it gets into intention. I mean,
Wait,
is he intentionally
so-
affected? I mean, it's not Rashford's fault that the others adjusted. You know what I mean?
Wait, so are you saying that Rashford just carried it and then when
He didn't
the
touch it.
offside,
He
didn't
when
touch
the
it,
offside play was
Rashford-
he didn't actually touch it.
Rashford never touched the
He
ball.
just ran with the ball to make it look like he had the ball, but he didn't touch the ball at all.
He did not touch the ball at all.
crazy.
He did not
He
touch
didn't
the
touch
ball,
it.
but it looked like it, so everyone
It looked
adapted
like
to
it.
it.
not at all.
We even thought live in the game, we thought Rashford passed the ball to Bruno.
Yeah, and people even assumed that Bruno shouted for the ball. And when they interviewed Bruno and Rashford together, Bruno was like, I didn't say anything. You probably saw that I was there and like,
Well, no, so Bruno's clever, right?
I rate he shouted it.
Because if Bruno says, "Oh, I said something," then he goes, "Okay, you knew he's offside."
it's
right?
offside, yeah.
But the thing is, when I play FIFA, right?
yeah.
When I play FIFA and I try and get the ball up, if I have a player that's offside before I've even touched the ball, I get called out.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but
FIFA's a computer game.
No. But those I'm saying the
And
rules
FIFA
are,
offsides,
They're
offsides are
they're-
fraud, by the
They're
way.
dubious.
They are very fraud.
They're
But all I'm
dubious.
saying is he was in an offside position. Whether he touched the ball or not, that does affect the game. Whether he touched the ball or not, that is offside to me. You see, guy. For those of you listening to the podcast, I'm the one outspoken
Don't be a victim.
person with two Man United
Nah,
fans.
don't be a victim.
No. Listen, I'm not arguing with you. The goal was offside.
It is offside.
But you know what?
But we don't make the rules.
We don't make the rules. It's not our rules. It's not our rules.
I know,
Right?
Also, honestly, the ref that
Is-
that denies that goal at Old Trafford that time in a derby.
And it will happen. But the thing is, it's like, okay, the goal may have been offsides, right?
Sure.
When was that goal scored? 60 minutes or so?
It was after Grealish, so at 64.
No, it was 79th minute. The Bruno's goal.
No, it wasn't that.
No,
Was it that late?
79th
Okay.
minute Bruno's goal.
Okay, but is it the fault of an offside goal that City had one shot on target?
No.
Is it the fault of an offside goal that City kept misplacing passes?
Is it the fault of City to allow United back into the game? Because that game, City should have.
My whole thing is, right, once you scored that first goal, you're all hyped up, you got the confidence, so that gives them the edge to score the second
And that's true. Listen, games and seasons turn on decisions like that. And you know what? Sometimes you need some luck. And we have not had luck for fucking years.
Yeah,
so
well, you made up for it
I
yesterday.
don't care.
God damn
Look,
it.
I understand, like, okay, cool, it's offside and stuff. But you guys were very quiet when Liverpool got off a technicality. People were very quiet. Now that it's us,
Yeah, well, we're going to do a bit of whataboutery because that's exactly the same
Yeah.
thing. So if you take those two goals, right? So the two affecting play. So it was, listen, I love that there's a player called Totti in the Premier League. I'm
Yeah.
upset it's not Francisco Totti, right?
Yeah.
But
he's in Miami, by the way.
that was is he there, living life?
And yeah, he was on the beach. I saw a guy take a selfie with him off the
Right. So it goes the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Wolves player Totti. Now this is in the FA Cup game against Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's the same situation because Salah is affecting play in that
Yes.
because he knows he's there. But what defender is not going to clear the ball? You're going to go, you know what? He's probably going to be blown offsides. I can't take the chance.
Yeah.
Like, what if I've mistimed? What if whatever? We are at Anfield. We are facing the cop. Like, I cannot let this ball go through. But the guy is offsides.
Yeah.
The second he touches the ball, offside rules are bullshit. We will argue. You can have VAR, you can have goal line, you can have whatever. Offsides will argue about forever.
Do you know what my thing is? It's about now. I don't think VAR is the problem. It's the application of it and the consistency of it.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
Because they didn't even go to the monitor yesterday.
exactly because two things can. The exact same thing can happen in two different games, but the interpretation of it and the explanation of it can be two different things.
But isn't that football? Isn't that just why we love football?
But now, if you're going to apply something to VAR, they should be. It should be. I don't have a problem with VAR. I think it's great for the game and whatever. I just have a problem with the consistency and the way it's applied.
Wait, so
But you can't. But football's not a game like that, though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I just want to ask. So yesterday, it was a referee who made that decision of giving the goal. Right? It wasn't a VAR thing.
But the referee's got the power to even overrule VAR.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, the ref.
So it was a ref. So
The ref did go speak to people at VAR. He did go speak to him.
because
but they
I
didn't
know
go,
so
go
many
look
people,
at the monitor.
I know so many people who complain every time I watch football. No, VAR should not be in the game. It should be just the referees because you know what, the machines have no business being there or whatever the hell they have to say. But now I'm like, if you are calling for the offside and a decision was made by the referee, you can't say you want VAR back now. You know what I'm saying? Like you need a
No, but VAR was consulted. It's just that they didn't show us anything on the monitor. So what happened was that
I thought it was very scammy.
Bruno puts the ball in the back of the net, right? Linesman immediately offside flags it.
Yes, I saw it.
Referee goes to the linesman and he goes, "Look, this is what I saw." Bruno's adamant that I didn't touch the ball or whatever. Obviously, VAR is looking at it, and then the referee's on. You can see he's on his mouthpiece, so he's not.
Yeah, no, he's talking to the guys. Yeah.
And then he gives the decision.
Also, I just while we're talking about this, we need to start they need to start getting some rules of conduct in place with these players of how they attack these referees after every damn decision. Did you see City and United yesterday?
It's not even after the decision.
When United was called offside, there were like 6 guys going to that one linesman. Then City, when it was called that it was a goal, then City goes with like 7 people around.
Have you heard the it's good that we don't play with the refs mic'd up and stuff like that, because the stuff that guys say to the refs, like just even for like fouls and small stuff like that. I once heard when Rooney go in with the ref and his mother and all that. I was just like,
But
Jesus.
it's a good point Ryan makes, and it's something that I have noticed about United this season, how they are a lot more on top of the referee.
Good.
But it's good.
No,
that's what
good.
winning teams do. You've got to put because he's not going to change that decision.
No, because you have to
But he
manage
may
the ref.
change the net. You got to manage the ref.
You have to manage the
Part
ref.
of the game.
No, you do have to manage the but I'm saying 8 guys versus 1 ref. It's there's still respect for the
Bro, we're there to win games.
Ryan, you know what? Chelsea in their pomp under Mourinho and
every
Chelsea
team has done it.
have all of the, and I remember there was a stage with Lampard and Terry and Drogba that would rotate with each other and be on top of the ref every
all the
decision.
time.
One of them would lead, and it wouldn't
All
always
the
be the
time.
same one because you're going to get booked.
Because
They would rotate. It's the game. It's part of the
game
game.
management. Like it's like you're 2-1 up, right? It's the 94th minute. They're 5 minutes on the board, bro. Go down.
You're going down for everything.
Go down, bro.
I thought Pep handled it well, but if I was Pep yesterday, I'd be damn fuming.
Pep
Well, he's
handled
gonna
it
get
like a
fi-
big
he
baby.
was like a big baby.
Pep
No,
was
but
a big,
But if he says
moaning,
more, he'll get
bald
fined. And
baby.
he'll get fined, and he'll get banned. So they can't really say anything. But he's fuming.
Okay, then how do we explain? Is it VAR, the ref, or anyone's fault about City just falling asleep for the second goal?
No.
Just shit the bed. Garnacho strips down the left-hand side, and Rashford
That game
unmarked.
changed.
City had a bad game.
That game changed when Garnacho. No, United just had a good game. City didn't play too badly. Because you know what was smart? That move with Fred. What they did with Fred. Go be like De Bruyne. Go be like flies on shit on De Bruyne.
You did a Park Ji-sung job.
Yeah. I don't care, bro. You got him. The minute that guy steps into Old Trafford, he's yours.
Yeah. Yeah,
Also-
which he did. And he fell asleep once.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I fell asleep. Exactly. So the time Fred falls asleep, De Bruyne crosses the goal, they score. And then after that,
I was just laughing yesterday because one of the highlights of the game was when Haaland kicks Casemiro and falls and wants a penalty.
did you guys hear the chant that the Old Trafford
they were going in.
at Haaland? They said, Haaland, how's your dad?
Speaking of Haaland, did anybody go to Rafael Varane?
To check, did you check his Instagram after the game or anything?
To check his pockets and check his Instagram. I think you might find Haaland.
You got to listen to Haaland. The way he landed, you kind of went, "Oh, this guy's going to score 50 goals this season." But it's kind of leveled out, and that happens because I think he had his momentum disrupted with the World Cup.
Yeah,
and also I think teams are kind of working out how to play him, and Pep's also getting to that stage of the season where he starts playing around too much,
and he's filtering.
There's a lot of
tinkering with the side.
There's a lot of tinkering. The two centre backs yesterday was a weird decision.
Bernardo Silva shouldn't have started ahead of Gundogan.
Probably.
Because Gundogan, if De Bruyne has Gundogan there, then
because what I think you got with United now is you're going to get a battle everywhere.
It's desire, yeah.
But specifically, you're going to get a midfield battle. So
Yeah.
those days of just walking through us, of Pogba calling it in and flicking out a leg, and Fred and McTominay just being
Not knowing what
they're doing, and those days are gone. So you can't afford probably to put a Bernardo Silva into a midfield battle like that,
Sure.
because that's what United are going to give you. Because even Eriksen's flying into tackles, Casemiro's got that little
But now
bastard about him, and we know what Bruno's like.
Yeah, but now now you can clearly see it. Like it's very defined because Casemiro is a 6 through and through. Eriksen's been deployed in the 8 role. Then Bruno will go play 10. But Bruno sometimes will have to sacrifice to go play on the right or something like that.
I love how hungry Bruno is.
Well,
No,
I
Bruno's
just love how
always had-
clever.
He's a firecracker.
Bruno's always had that. It's just that it's the players around him now.
He's very aggressive, but the thing is, I think it's something that United need. Is they need that aggressive.
But speaking to Paulo earlier, Paulo made a very, very interesting point, which I agree with him with. It's not that we're not playing different to the way we were playing like in other season stuff. Now I think there's just desire and guys have a plan, and now it's about our guys taking it seriously. Do guys want to be here? Because even with dropping Rashford, which you were upset about, I think Ten Hag has set a precedent that guys, if you don't want to be here, I'll find someone else to do the job.
I mean, listen. So it is, and I think players like Bruno, suddenly he looks around in that midfield, and last year is going, fuck, I got Fred and McTominay here. I'm not getting the ball back.
And Pogba doesn't take it seriously.
I'm not getting the ball back if I give it to these guys. Now he looks up. He's got Casemiro. He's got Eriksen. He's got quality. He's got Anthony. He's got quality around. He goes, you know what? If I put this ball, they know what I want to do with it. Yeah. And suddenly the players are going, I don't have to take all the responsibility.
Absolutely.
That guy's going to carry for me. If I drop off here, he's going to pick it up. And suddenly you're starting to see that all through the team.
But it's like you saw the second goal. You saw the single. Do you see Bruno's everybody talks about Garnacho and everything. I say it's Bruno's pass to Garnacho that starts it.
Yeah, because it takes
it
City players out.
eliminates 3 City players. Now Garnacho's in all the space. He drags Ake out to him. Rashford free as a baby.
No.
Bob's your uncle.
I'm bringing Rashford into my FPL this week.
Oh, I did it already.
I did it, man. Almost triple captained him.
You almost triple captained him.
Do you know what I did? Do you know what mistake I made? Do you know what mistake I made? I took Casemiro out, and I took De Bruyne out. But I put Salah for De Bruyne because they were playing Brighton, and I thought they were going to smash.
Okay, let's move on now with United feels, right? So United upwards, close the gap on City, play Arsenal next week.
If Arsenal lose today,
I don't think United are in a title race. I'm not going to get myself in the feels about it.
I'm also not looking at that.
But
I'm just impressed that you guys are sticking in the top 4. Because I didn't see it happening.
No, I mean...
Nobody did.
Neither did I. It's just
Nobody
clicked.
did.
Listen, who thought in the whole world of football put a competent centre-back and a competent central midfielder?
And get bashed for by Brentford, and then everything turns a corner.
Do you know what I mean? Do you see the story this week about Casemiro? Where United was scared after the Brentford game. They go, oh, shit. Because Casemiro was on the line, and they're like, oh, shit. He's probably not going to come after this.
Yeah.
And he apparently texted his agent and said,
don't worry, I'll fix it.
I'll fix it. Tell them I'll fix it. And boy, oh boy, he has fixed it.
But I mean, Chelsea did something similar when they brought in Thiago Silva. Experienced centre-back,
But my thing is that for me, and Paulo and I we're talking about this again, guys like Casemiro, you don't have to coach because there's nothing new. You're not going to teach him football, and you're not going to make him a better player talent-wise. So now you just say, look, bro, do what you do. You've got this. And Paulo said, these guys are smart. They're seasoned campaigners. If something is going wrong, they know how to fix it.
Yeah.
Especially Varane and Casemiro. They play in close proximity to each other, and they played together for how many years now?
Yeah.
And they're not looking at the bench to solve their problems or to pass responsibility. And I think that's been a lot of United players. And even United players still there now. Rashford and Bruno too often, who are key players now, too often would look at the bench and go, oh, well, what you said's not working.
Yeah.
Now they're going, okay, cool, we'll fix it. Don't worry. Because, Ten Hag's like, do it. Go fix it. And he's given players responsibility to take on. Listen, we in our fields about Manchester United. Let's laugh at Liverpool for a second.
Yes. Because
I'm sure it'll be for 10 minutes. Do those guys still exist?
Let
that
all the
land.
shit going down at Chelsea and with the United and City game yesterday, they actually got off so easy.
I say Liverpool are so lucky that Chelsea are shitting the bed like
that. And also because of what Chelsea are doing in the transfer window. That's why.
Because Liverpool are getting away scot-free with having a stinker of a season.
Liverpool just need to be sold. They need somebody who backs the manager.
I don't know. They do back the manager. It's not that. It's because, they have backed the manager. He's been there 8 years and he's done things. For me, it's just that it's fatigue. No, but Liverpool are tired.
They're cooked, man. They're cooked.
They're mentally shot. Like,
why haven't they? They haven't done any transfers, right?
But what can you do? You just spent £87 million on a.
So here's where Liverpool sit, right? Is 100%. This time last year, 4 competitions. We're going for
quadruple.
Hold on, Ron's actually right. Some shit just happened here.
Kobe.
Senzo just Kobe'd the shit out of a Coca-Cola bottle. That was phenomenal stuff.
That was fantastic.
That's highlights real stuff. Into the bin.
That's what I do.
Jeez, that was phenomenal stuff. So Liverpool, last season, quadruple, going for it.
At this stage, they were loud about it.
And loud about it. But it's just that what you've seen with the great teams over the years, and not to talk about Fergie and Wenger, but you've got to. That's the benchmark.
That's the blueprint, yeah.
Is that they always tore up their team after winning. They didn't wait till they were bad to tear up their team. They would win and they would get rid of players because they went,
we're competing on 4 fronts.
Desire's gone.
Yeah.
You're tired of my message, and it sends a message to the guys staying. I don't care who you are.
What did he say about what did Fergie say to Ronaldo about Dwight York, or he won't be here in a couple? Because Ronaldo started hanging out with Dwight York and stuff, or Andy Cole. And Fergie's like, you shouldn't be around those guys because you won't be here in January.
But that was it. And you look at what servants those two were.
Yes.
And kind of go, okay, this is, legends. I don't care. And Wenger would do the same. He would always let somebody go.
No, didn't he let Overmars and Petit go in their prime?
At their prime. They just won the league.
Yeah, and he said, go to Barca.
Just go. He let them go. And that's where I think what Klopp hasn't done is that he hasn't
He's waited for things to go wrong.
And they're a donut of a side now, and they're getting even worse. They've got no midfield. There is no midfield in the club.
Bro,
Virgil van Dijk is
but like for me, we've had this discussion about Virgil. For me, after the ACL, I said this guy's not going to come back the same, and that's where teams started figuring out.
Because what people forget about Virgil van Dijk is he's old. He's old for a footballer, and he's had a big injury.
Yeah, and he's had an ACL injury.
You forget the way he came in, and he's a Rolls Royce of a player. Don't get me wrong. And there was a period where I don't just think he was the best footballer in the best defender. I think he's the best footballer in the world for about 18 months.
And that Ballon d'Or that Messi wins, it's dubious.
He was that good, but he doesn't get better. Alisson started to make those mistakes that older goalkeepers start making mistakes, and they don't stop making them.
But also Liverpool, I think, also key, and we keep understating it. Losing Sadio Mane.
Yeah, I was about to say this. I saw a meme on Twitter literally this morning, and it had some little car with a big dump truck on it, and it was Mane carrying the team. I agree. They've fallen off.
And I think it's very simplistic, but because you also go, Andy Robertson's not been himself this season. And those two had a good combo. And you go on while he replaced, because Luis Diaz goes on there. Jota goes there, who are now proving to be injury prone.
Liverpool did something yesterday which I'd never seen before. So did you see the Japanese Matomi from how much what trouble he was giving Trent Alexander-Arnold? Did you not see that him and Andy Robertson swapped? Because Trent was being cooked alive. He was being cooked alive. And I just think Liverpool, what they failed to do is that, okay, no, we're winning. It's going to be like this forever. They didn't think, okay, cool, now we have to rotate. Pep does it very well, but sometimes he tinkers with it a bit too much. He fixes it when it's not broken. And
they also play Henderson.
Gerard Light.
Yeah, but it just leaves Trent vulnerable for the 2-on-1s. You know what I mean?
But Henderson plays in the middle. Trent's on the right, revolving door.
Look, you know what?
He's a revolving door.
I think it's just,
everybody just goes in.
We can all, there's just a couple of things. When you've still got Oxlade-Chamberlain and you're relying on him, I think when you and Thiago Alcantara,
that thing hasn't worked.
Just didn't work.
It hasn't worked, and Liverpool need to cut their losses and say, look, it hasn't worked with Thiago. It's okay. These things happen. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And unfortunately, in this case, it hasn't worked.
But Liverpool got a problem, right? So it's not that money's not there, right? So we also know that they're up for sale. The Americans seem to be done, other than Todd. They go, okay, there's no Super League, we're out, right? Yeah. So it's not like Liverpool won't put money in. But it just seems so bizarre now. It seemed bizarre even at the time when all Liverpool supporters won the Cody Gakpo Cup. We signed him as you were after him, right? Because that's fine, but you guys don't need that.
Him.
You've got... you're stacked up front.
You got Diaz, you got Firmino, you got... for me, that signing also didn't make sense.
I mean, surely you're
and
looking
then you buy him to play 9. And also Salah should have played 9 yesterday.
Oh, listen, Salah doesn't get better either. It's just that there are a lot of problems with Liverpool.
Do you think Klopp is going to be the end of the season?
It is.
Do you think Klopp is going to be
the 7th-year curse?
He does seem to have that.
It is.
But he signed a new extension, though.
No. But this is the final. This is the 7th year.
Yeah.
Listen,
I wonder.
Liverpool are in. Listen, they went through a period of 7 to 8 years where every decision they made
went off without a hitch.
Everything worked, and it wasn't lucky. It obviously was planned, right? Yeah. But there's been an exodus. Suddenly, owners kind of are looking somewhere else. They've lost a lot of executives, so a lot of that support that Klopp had in the boardroom.
Yeah.
The transfer committees, executive guys, and Liverpool fans will know them better than me. They've all left.
Yeah.
Suddenly you have a team that's aging. Your key guys, you need to move them on.
And for me,
you need to move them.
Also, for me, even not about the aging, it's about the wear and tear, Paulo. We've been going at it.
Even look at Diego Jota.
Yeah.
Diego Jota's fallen apart.
Yeah, we've been going at it for 5 years. Like, we have to be switched on every game for 5 years. And we've been coming so close, but no cigar. And it's not because of the way we're playing. We've been playing stellar football. It's just that there's another team that happens to be a little bit better than us. And it must get to you.
You know, man, I'm going to make an NBA reference now. I've been listening to a great podcast called Sports Wars.
Actually, I'm going to go on. I'm going to check it out.
You got to go take a listen to this. And what they talk about is when there was the handing over the dynasty of the Detroit Pistons to the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
And you had this Detroit Pistons that were like, they didn't play great basketball.
They were physical.
They
knew what the plan. They went into every game with a plan.
And it was going to be
Let's
Isaiah Thomas. Right?
Let's go bully Jordan.
And that's when Bulls were starting to rise up, and their game plan was, it was called the Jordan plan.
Yeah.
Which is basically fuck up Jordan.
Yeah, the Jordan rules.
The Jordan rules, right? Just go after Jordan. But it eventually it worked, and it worked, and it worked, and then it just stopped working.
Yeah.
And no matter what they did, they just couldn't get it right. And kind of Liverpool are in that, you had this way of working, and it was very physical, and was very robust, and it worked, and then it just stops working. And you can't, you had a group of players that it worked for.
Yeah.
You had a group of players, you had rules at the time worked for it.
Yeah.
Because it also starts happening. Rules started changing.
Yeah.
Refs started reffing differently. And
Absolutely.
you just have all these little things starting to tick over. It goes, oh shit, it doesn't work anymore.
I like how you reference the Jordan rules, because also if you look at the Chicago Bulls and the style of basketball they played, right? And before, who's this guy? Who's the coach then?
Phil Jackson.
He came up with a plan. He said, okay. And Jordan then was averaging 37 points per season, and he
a game, yeah.
Phil Jackson knew that this style of basketball wasn't going to get us to win, and we're throwing everything on Jordan. And what Phil Jackson said was like, look, we need to make sure that the ball isn't Jordan's hands less. And then he got Rodman and Pippen. He's like, listen, can I win with these guys? And Jordan hit the gym, and after that, the rest is history. So
yeah. It is. It's like every great team.
Sure.
Everything works because you are just doing the right thing at the right time in that sport. Then suddenly things change.
But it's like when
and your team's gone.
But it's like when Mourinho came into the league for the first time. It shook Ferguson up and Wenger up, because they'd never seen anything like that, because they were used to bossing things so And their style of football, you remember they had to change the way they played because Ferguson had to start again. He's like, okay, Van Nistelrooy kind of knows what's up. That's when we started seeing the Rooneys and the Ronaldos start to establish themselves. And like now he's like, okay, cool, this is a different United. And yeah, because they'd never seen anything like it.
Liverpool, Ryan, where do you think Liverpool go, right? What do you think next?
I don't know.
When you still got James Milner on your squad.
Honestly. Henderson should have gone out.
Oh, man.
I just haven't seen Liverpool. You know, Liverpool in the last season were so dangerous.
For the last 4 years, they were
You-
scary.
It's just
bro.
like just how they've fallen.
But you know
it's
what I just saw
unbelievable
there,
to
right?
me.
You look at the lineup. I actually just pulled it up right now, and it is when you watch the game again. You look at that Liverpool lineup, the midfield of Fabinho, Henderson, and Alcantara, and you go, geez, that is football pedigree, right?
Oh, the football IQ there.
Of 18 months ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you look at the Brighton midfield, you go, hold on a second. Caicedo, who is an 80 million pound player,
Yes.
he is.
He's got all the tools.
Everyone's jerking themselves off over Jude Bellingham. I reckon
Caicedo.
Caicedo's your guy. And not just that.
McAllister.
Next to him, McAllister. And McAllister was playing like a World Cup winner.
He was playing next to, and you know the thing is, even in the World Cup, he didn't look out of his depth next to Messi.
Not at all.
He didn't look out of his depth. He looked like he's been doing this for like 10 years or so.
And that was the difference you watched then. We spoke about the United midfield, but you look at that Brighton midfield, and it was 2-on-3.
And
They would never-
Solly March and Matomi, they had all the space in the world. They were like, okay, cool. Even if they missed the chance, they knew the next one was going to come.
They were never overloaded, and I think like every team, and Liverpool are kind of, and you hear it from their supporters, is that, oh, Bellingham's going to sort this out. Bellingham's going to sort this out.
Bellingham's going to Madrid. I'm sorry to tell you guys.
Bellingham looks at that dumpster fire and he goes,
It's like-
guys, at this point, you guys aren't even in the Champions League.
Also,
And also you're playing with old guys. And he looks at Madrid. He's like, it's a bunch of young guys. Modric is moving on.
Bellingham
Cruz
needs
is
all the money. Bellingham needs all the money.
No, and he'll get it. But
He
I
will
think
get it.
I think if you're Jude Bellingham and you're looking and say, hold on a second, these guys aren't even in the Champions League. What am I going to go there?
and go, what am I going to go improve?
Listen, I think if you're looking, if you're a Premier League team and needs a good midfield, and we're looking, Ryan thinks we're going to skip over Chelsea. We're coming there, Ryan. Don't,
No,
he's like laying low. We're coming.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Can we put Salah on the fraud list, please?
No.
No,
you can't.
Why?
His body of work over the last 5 years, you can't.
No, 5 years, but this season has been absolutely.
You're allowed to dip in form, bro. But to be doing it for 5 years,
You're allowed to get old.
you're also allowed to get older.
You're
It happened to
allowed
Ronaldo. Just because Ronaldo played like shit, does it question?
Ronaldo's still kept consistent for a long time. I'm saying Mane was a big part of what Salah was doing.
I
in
think what's
Liverpool.
happening with Salah is yes, it's that combination of fatigue. That has to be. I don't care what
Yeah.
anyone says. It has to be.
I think he just wants the next thing now.
But
he's given everything he could to Liverpool.
is that
Where does
right?
he go?
Real
He
Madrid.
could pick up anywhere.
Go to Real Madrid, bro.
It's a change of scene. It kind of goes. Salah's not the same guy.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
But Klopp wants him to do the same things, and he's trying to do the same things because it's that memory, that
Yeah, muscle memory,
that
yeah.
muscle memory of Liverpool. Just they didn't have to think; they were just robotic. And it kind of goes like, I'll tell you, Salah could move clubs, and he would kill.
Yeah, he'd finish
He'd
it.
go somewhere else,
He'd destroy it.
and he would do so well because you're trying the same thing, and
Yeah.
it's not working. And you just saw it yesterday, just midfield wise. Liverpool are good up front. I think there is potential in the back line, but that midfield, and you just saw McAllister and Caicedo there just totally boss them.
But do you know, speaking of Liverpool, do you know what pattern I've seen with Liverpool? If you can ensure that Liverpool don't get to a fast start, you've nullified them. Because you know Liverpool, under that Klopp mentality, if they're playing quick football from the first 15 minutes, it might be a long day from you. But if you can nullify them within the first 15 minutes, there's no plan B.
I don't think they can do that anymore. And that's the problem.
You think it's the wear and tear?
I don't even think they can do that anymore. Anyway, Liverpool not looking great in the league. Do you still want to laugh at them? Can you move on? Or we...
No,
It's
let's
too easy.
move on
It's too-
now.
I don't want
Yeah.
Liverpool like this. I want them at their best.
Also, they're ninth in the log right now, so I see Chelsea going above. We have to at least go above.
You can't
Liverpool.
say anything. They're above you right now.
Okay, so
No, I know they're above you,
let's get to that. So Liverpool in 9th, Chelsea in 10th. Even a win today does not put Chelsea above because I think goal difference makes that. Let's go back.
So they 10th solid there.
Chelsea are 10th
Chelsea.
solid,
Yeah, I know.
mid-table.
Comfortably.
We're in the mud, cuz.
Mid-table.
Comfortable.
Let me just talk about, here's where you are, Chelsea. Nottingham Forest are only 5 points behind you.
We're Nottingham Forest on the log. 14th.
13th. Nottingham Forest, let's just remember this, only came up,
After 20 years.
bought like a whole new football club of players.
Like 39 players or something stupid like that.
complete swag players, like Jesse Lingard.
But let's just talk about this way. I mean, if I'm Chelsea, right, you look at this log. Aston Villa on the up because, I mean, Steven Gerrard, fraud. Holy
stank it up.
shit.
Yeah, but also he bit off way more than he could chew.
I mean, you're not going to turn down that job.
Obviously, it's Villa, dude.
It's a Premier League job.
And also,
but-
he brought Coutinho back, and there was some good.
Who's going to go very soon?
I mean, we called that, right?
Yeah, no, we did.
Coutinho played for a full-time contract. Once he got that,
And to maybe get a World Cup.
Havaianas on, fuck you guys, I'm not
Yeah.
playing anymore. Okay, Crystal Palace in a bit of trouble. But let's go back to Chelsea. Let's talk about some of the transfer business. Todd Bowley's a lunatic. We've established this, right?
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Nothing.
We have hijacked a transfer.
Well, before we get to that, let's get to the first hijacking you did this week. I mean, you're like a fucking Mozambican syndicate here. With
I
all
know,
the
every
hijacking
time we
business.
lose, we get a new player.
But like for me, for me, do not neutral. Do you know
You're going to have Nottingham Forest style squad soon.
exactly? For me, do you know I knew Chelsea don't have a plan. When United and Arsenal saw that Atletico wanted 11 million euros for a 6-month thing, we were like, "There's no chance."
It's not even a
Jacques.
six.
Oh,
It's a
yes.
4-month loan, bro. Because the season's only 4 months left,
Oh yes, snap, yeah.
and you got to pay him for 2 months while he's training with Atletico.
and now that he's out
And
for 3
now he's
games,
out for
you're only
3
going to see him in
games.
February again.
Mr. Joao Felix.
Okay, so Ryan, I want to talk to you something, right?
Yeah,
Do you guys know Joao's my first name?
No.
No?
You see that by the stunned silence. That's my first name.
Yeah.
My name's Joao Paulo. That's my first name.
Joao Paulo, very Portuguese.
Okay, right?
This is the same spelling.
Same, exactly the same.
Joao Paulo
Yeah.
Diaz.
Yeah, so that's Joao's my first name. I don't go by it because it's difficult for people to get their heads around. Well, it was. Now you got lots of players. People get the Joao. It's
Yeah.
Is it Madeiran or is it mainland?
No, it's mainland. It's John.
It's John. It's John in
It's-
Portuguese.
It's John in Portuguese.
Oh, okay, so you're a mainlander.
It's John
I'm an
Paul.
islander.
His name's John Paul.
Yeah.
Right.
Jean Paul Diaz.
It's John.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right?
Right.
Very common, right?
Yeah.
But it just throws people's minds. Let me tell you something about a Joao, Ryan. We will always let you down. You will put all your hope in us. We'll come in with swag, bro. We'll
Yeah.
come in. We'll look good. You go, fuck, this guy's going to turn around for me. And then we'll get pissed off
I won't lie.
and we'll 2-foot someone.
Yeah, John.
Okay, just can you guys stop being United fans for like a minute and just you guys both watched the Chelsea game, right?
No, I've got better things to do. Than
You should have, because Joao Felix was the greatest player on the field at that for those first like
Did you win?
60 minutes.
Did you win?
Do you know what the thing?
So
So I'm going to back Ryan up on that.
No, he did look good though. I did watch the Chelsea game. by the
But
way.
just purely, and remember when, and to go back to United, but remember when Anthony Alanga came in the end of last season
Yeah.
and he looked so good?
yeah,
It's not because he is good. It's just because he hadn't been weighed down by confused tactics and some of the funk
It
that's
was
around the
something
team.
fresh.
Right? He was fresh. He was kind of encumbered. And it's the same thing I saw with Joao Felix. I don't think he was spectacularly good.
it's not Joao Felix.
It's just that nobody else.
was used to it. Like,
Yeah.
what's this?
Everyone, it's just that the rest of it's just you're just not used to that in Chelsea. You're not used to energy. You're not used to movement. You're not used to independence. You're not used to a player playing with joy because there's
Yeah,
no
and freedom.
joy in and freedom.
Yeah.
And that's why he looked good. But yes, 100%. And then it gets to the thing. It's like, well, fuck,
Also-
no one's on my wavelength. It's cold. I'm going to 2-foot somebody. I need to get back in the change
Yeah,
room.
and also, also at
Also,
Atleti.
they kicked the shit out of him
That's going to
for
happen.
like 60 minutes. Yeah,
But they-
welcome to England. I know.
They
but I'm
did,
saying,
they did their homework.
It's going to happen.
You know, Iberian players and being cold and the temperament are.
Yeah, it's look all around.
But it was such an amateur move to get a red card for, and also I thought it was a bit strict. Like I know studs were up. but
Studs
it-
were up, right?
It's a red card, bro.
Halfway up his
Paulo.
leg.
I mean, not Paulo, Ryan. That guy.
I know, but Rashford got a goal for being offside.
No, we're not talking about
No, but
us.
he didn't try-
Leave us.
I'm just
He didn't
saying.
try to kill somebody.
Listen, I will always defend the Portuguese player. I defended Ronaldo till the end,
Yeah.
right? But that was
But also that guy.
again, I know the mentality of a Joao.
Exactly.
There was no
I
accident
know
in
this
that.
guy. I see myself in this
That
guy.
was not accidental.
But also, that guy, if he didn't move his leg, if that guy's leg sticks, and Joao catches him properly, cheers, out for 8 months.
Well, listen, Joao's a little wispy guy. But listen, here's the thing about Joao Felix, just going back and back and back, right? Joao Felix was always this wonder boy. He's kind of always been ordained as he's going to be
Yes.
the next, right? He's always seen as Ronaldo's successor. I not in playing style, but in kind of
Playing
status in
style is like,
Portuguese
he's
football.
like close to Rui Costa for me.
Very much so. Very Kaká-ish.
Yeah,
even
very
in-
Kaká-ish.
even
Yeah,
in
very
his physical
and his
look.
movement. Yeah,
He's very Kaká. That's kind of the first time I saw him. I
yes, the
felt
blueprint.
that.
Yeah,
So he breaks into the Benfica team kind of like in January. And then he just goes on this fantastic kind of run. Does really well, scoring goals. But before you know it, and of course Benfica are phenomenal with buyout
finessing.
clauses. They're phenomenal with buyout clauses. I mean, Chelsea just figuring
Chelsea
that out
found
themselves.
they found it out the hard way.
Liverpool know it. They're just phenomenal with their buyout clauses. And thinking 126 million buyout clause, no one's going to touch it. At least not Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
Of course, they buy Benfica and say, go fucking. It was a bad move for him. It was very
also the style of football,
Renato Sanchez-ish.
and also the style that Atleti play. It's not for.
It made no
not
sense.
For him. Yeah,
It made no sense. But they also thought, look, we're signing a generational talent, which
Yeah.
he could be. But he's now made the move to Atletico made no sense. Okay.
Well, no, for him it made no sense.
move
for
to-
other people it did. Yeah,
And again, the move to Chelsea makes no sense. It's not his move. He's made two bad moves now.
Well,
I don't think this is a bad move for
I
Joao
don't think
Felix.
it's a bad
I
move.
don't think so.
Not for him, because the thing is, you get to go figure it out somewhere else. These guys need me. Oh, well,
Also, he's coming to a top. Well, we used to be a top tier team.
no, you have never been a top tier team.
Oh, we have. And the thing is, you're going to play at Chelsea, which is one of the greatest football clubs in England. Come on,
They're
this is
barely the
great.
best football club in London.
He gets to
but,
play in the Premier League.
I don't know what player Joao Felix is. I cannot tell
I
you.
also can't tell you what he does for me.
Is he a 10? Is he a
Is he a
wide?
9 or is
He's not a
not a
striker.
9. He's not a 9. That's
He's not a
off the
9.
table.
But,
Okay.
but we are not
He's not
gonna-
quick enough to be a winger.
We aren't going to figure it out for the next 3 weeks either. So
You're not going to figure it out for the next 6
Look,
months.
I think we'd put Joao Felix. I think if you look at him, go, okay, yeah. So he's going to take a couple of weeks off, find himself a nice place to stay. I mean, now he's got time to figure that out. You know, he doesn't have to play. But it puts him in the window, and suddenly, hey, listen, maybe Newcastle in the Champions League go for him. Maybe Chelsea do go for him. Or he goes back to Atletico Madrid, where Simeone's not going to be.
Yeah.
but
Simeone's not there
you know
next season.
Yeah.
There's talks of them trying to sign him permanently.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
For what, 180 million pounds?
Well, I guess we'll have to see, because I did see on Football Insider on Twitter that there is talks of trying to sign him permanently.
No,
Well,
listen,
I would as well. I would also try to sign him permanently.
Atletico Madrid are smart. I mean,
Yeah.
just look how they finessed Barcelona out of Griezmann, playing him for like the allocated. Do you guys see that deal?
Oh God!
But look.
Only coming on or
Atleti-
coming off in the
Atleti
60th
are good
minute?
at business. Like, look, Aguero.
Yeah.
Torres. Forlan.
They've done it.
Falcao.
They take players and they finesse clubs around them.
Finesse clubs for big money.
Can I also just say, because if you follow me on Twitter at Hawksley on Twitter, you'll find me there. I've been talking about our transfer, and I know you're going to get into the second transfer soon, Paulo, but like the speed that this happened in.
The
when
Joao Felix move.
Yes. It was unbelievable because firstly, we go and organize a meeting, and I think I bitched about this on the last podcast, where we organize a meeting with Enzo. We say we're gonna pay the buyout clause. Then we go meet with them and we throw them a lousy offer of 85 mil.
You lowball them.
Lowball them. It's embarrassing. Then Enzo comes out. He plays the game and he scores on the first game. Now he's back in training. And then I'm like, we mustn't drop the ball on Joao Felix as if they're going for Enzo. And then now, just out of nowhere, Joao Felix just pops up.
No, but dude,
well, you would have signed anyway. Did you see how many? Like 11 million euros.
I think
I know it's ridiculous.
I think though why it happens so quickly is because it just talks to the disjointed transfer strategy.
Chelsea.
I'll tell you right now, Enzo Fernandez won't. It's not a Chelsea. They'll move on from him.
Oh,
it's not
straight
like
away.
they're trying to do the homework now to get him. He was just flavor of the month.
was trending.
Joao Felix is available. Mudryk is, and we'll get on to him now. Mudryk is available, and I'm telling you, they'll just in the summer they'll just go. If there's a shot at Bellingham, they'll go after Bellingham. There's no joint. They'll forget Enzo Fernandez.
And I don't think Potter wants these guys. Potter's like, what the hell am I doing? Potter's got no say there.
And why it happens so quickly is because there is a selling club who is willing to do business.
Yeah.
It only moves slowly when the selling club doesn't want to do business.
when there's a stalemate, when people
Atletico have to get rid of Joao Felix.
yeah, because
and they need that money.
It's messing up their wage bill.
Was Arsenal going after Joao Felix?
They were going, but
So
they
does
refused to pay the 11 million.
11 million euros for
No,
6 months.
I know. I saw Piers Morgan put out a tweet this morning, and he's pissed off because he's saying Chelsea can just rock up at any time and just open their wallet. Todd Bowley's basically, he's like a Grand Theft Auto kind of mafia.
Well,
boss.
he's done the same now on the second one to Mudryk, right?
Yeah, Mudryk.
Signed last night.
The player
100
from
million euros.
Shakhtar Donetsk.
Tell us about Mudryk a bit. The Ryan.
Oh no, he's a defender for now.
Thanks to ChatGPT. This is a conversation we were having last night. So they go hijack the next move, right? Again, another player got great potential, great things, done really good things.
They
in
don't need him.
but they don't need him.
No.
And so far, what he's shown is killer pace. But we see so many times in the Premier League pace.
You need more than pace.
A guy who looks
Nicola
quick in
Pepe. Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Guys who look quick in other leagues suddenly get caught up. The Premier League is quick. If one thing, they have speedsters in that league.
Yeah, because you play City, and Mudryk plays a guy like Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker, you even heard it last night. They said that probably the only guy who can keep up with Rashford on that pitch is Kyle Walker.
Yeah, and that's where it gets shown up. But it just goes again. Another guy, pretty lightweight, going to come in off the left. Don't you have Mason Mount and Joao Felix
Raheem Sterling.
and Raheem Sterling? Don't you already have
Kai
guys
Havertz
there?
can do that if he wants to.
Well, Kai Havertz doesn't seem like he wants to do anything right now.
He's chilling.
He's on absolute fraud alert.
So what happens to Orban now?
Oba wants to go
done.
to Barcelona.
And
Barcelona are saying, nah, bro.
No,
We
Barcelona.
can sign you, but just we're not paying for you.
Yeah, exactly. They've said if it's a free transfer, they're happy to have him back. So I don't know how that's going to go. But
Because
if
Aubameyang's
I'm him,
stuck.
I'm also leaving.
He can't move to anyone else but Barcelona because he can't be registered for 3 teams in a season.
Yes.
So he's stuck.
But if I'm him, I'm also like, I came in with Tuchel and we were going to do this cool thing, and now I got stuck with this.
That's neither Potter nor Aubameyang's fault.
With Harry Potter and
That's not Potter's fault. Potter's not a bad manager.
What's that hat from Harry Potter?
Sorting.
It's the Chelsea hierarchy.
It's the Chelsea hierarchy.
Because that was never going to work.
Yeah, I know.
Aubameyang has shown himself to be an unreliable character for a couple.
Bro.
It's like it was. You were always like a bit of dodgy temperament, but at least you could play. So there was performance tolerance. Now you're a dickhead and you can't play.
And you saw that. Do you know when you see it? When you don't, you're a natural 9. You don't get started in a game where you need a 9. You come on in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You come on in the first 5 minutes and you get yanked off.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And you get yanked off. Bro, I'm calling my agent. I'm going, bro.
No, we'll see, because I saw it. I would also be pissed off if he's like sitting on the bench and he's not going to do much at Chelsea. So whether they'll let him go for.
Weren't you excited about him at the beginning?
I was excited for him, and then they let Tuchel go, and then I was like, "What the hell are we doing?"
Are you excited for your new signing now? You're excited about
what?
Joao Felix and he got a red card.
Yeah, no, I won't lie.
Don't worry, you guys are getting Mbappe.
Well, you see, the thing
Oh
is,
well, if we lose to Crystal Palace today, maybe.
but where does the attention go next? I mean, Chelsea have already dropped $500 million in transfer.
And we're still 10th. Like,
and
can you understand my frustration? This has never
guys,
been Chelsea's brand.
Koulibaly is up for sale. They're willing
Are
to
you
cut
serious?
I didn't see that.
They want to cut
Really?
their losses. So they've
I saw Sterling as well.
they've identified 7 players that they feel are undermining the dressing room, and they say they're up for sale. And Koulibaly, and okay, if you say Sterling as well, but you bought those guys. They weren't there before. You bought them. What are you doing?
Todd Bowley says he wants to switch up. I said it to you in the car earlier. It is the player power in the team, or whatever that means. And I'm just like,
Firstly, don't undermine the manager's signings.
Exactly.
First and foremost, don't go over your manager's head to make signings. Because
You're confusing the shit out of the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also read a headline this morning that said Potter gave Mudryk a call about 6 days ago.
Because Bowley told him to.
No. He was explaining the project, because if you've been following this Mudryk thing now,
I don't follow players who I don't know.
Arsenal have been after him for weeks.
Arsenal are also a small team.
And they've lost out again. We snaked them again.
No, because Arsenal won't be bullied into a bidding war. There's a difference.
No, that's it.
They saw with Nicola Pepe that, listen.
Well, Arsenal, I mean, not with spending the money, because Arsenal don't have that money to throw around.
Exactly.
But Arsenal are coming out of a period where they were disjointed, different people signing. You had players mismatched, dodgy personalities.
Yeah.
And Arteta's done that.
Them fighting people who are trying to mug them, players. Yeah.
But Arteta's gone, listen, you want to talk a project.
Arsenal.
Arteta's got a project.
He knows what he's doing,
right?
yeah.
You make a lot of fun of it, trust
There's
the
a plan.
process. Arteta as a project. I would love to have heard what Potter's project is. What is the project?
What exactly? What's going on? Because all this does, and do you know where the biggest transfer news is going to come from in Chelsea? They go about this, they're going to lose Mason Mount for free.
I know.
Listen, guys,
they're going to lose Mason
we
Mount
cannot
for free.
afford to lose Mason.
can I make a call?
Yeah,
Can I make a call on Mason Mount?
sure.
Mason Mount is this decade. He's the new Dele Alli.
You think so?
Mark my
Are
words.
you serious to that degree?
Mark my words. He is this. Would I say this generation? This batch of players. He's this Dele Alli.
Okay, pal.
That's what I'll make that call on Mason Mount.
Mason Mount is up for free.
Within 5 years.
Wait, Mason Mount is up for free. Aren't you throwing your hat in as United? I would.
Not a chance.
You're not touching him.
I do not know what Mason Mount does.
He's an 8, bro. He's a fake Lampard.
It's very fake.
Lampard light.
Very light. He's Kingsley Cola Lampard. That's what he is.
Wow.
Kingsley Cola, by the way, we are open for sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Shout out to the plug. But for me, like,
I don't know what Mason Mount does.
for me, Chelsea are complaining we don't have a striker. What do? Go fetch Joao Felix. Oh, and then we go fetch a winger that half the world's only heard of him yesterday.
You know what this ironic thing about?
Senzo, you're making us sound like we're stupid.
You are stupid.
You know what this whole thing about
does it not show?
going back to kind of my points. I don't know what player Joao Felix is. I can tell you the player he's not. He is not a striker. And I understand
He's not going to go
strikers
and
are
get
different.
you. He's not going to. If he gets you 15 a season, it's a great season for
exactly.
his job.
I understand
Joao
strikers
Felix.
are different. You got inside forwards, they're inverted. The kind of number 9. You have to be kind of elite Lewandowski, Kane kind of levels to vote Weghorst kind of levels to work now. But it's almost like you go, Chelsea, go with me on this, right? Chelsea, you're looking for this kind of number 9.
You want Lewandowski or Kane?
A figurehead
We won't
with
get
a bit of
Kane.
coaching. You kind of have a guy called Lukaku that's still a problem for
Who
you.
does not want to play for you?
No.
Who does not want to play
He
football
wants to
anymore.
stay in Italy. Yes.
It just seems like, but you had a guy.
that did what you
That
want him to
does
do.
what-
you're looking for.
It seems Potter needs to do, because Potter even played with Welbeck, who didn't score goals, but he's filled a role.
Terrorized, yeah.
And it goes, but you had a guy like that.
Sure.
It just
Can I tell you? No.
You don't know what the plan is at Chelsea.
We're in a bad position at the moment because we have 11 of our first team players injured.
Oh, well,
yeah,
you
yes, Liverpool's injury list. No. Everyone has injuries.
Don't injure. The injury thing is outplayed.
No.
Next thing.
No, guys. Pulisic is out.
We
now.
don't care. Don't count. Don't tell us about
Well,
your injuries.
there's another, the American Mount.
Yeah, the American man. Don't tell us about your injuries. Like that. It just happened to United all the time.
No, but that's what
we
I'm
had to
saying.
play Paul Scholes at centre back. So like, don't talk to me about
I
injuries.
think we went like half the season with Carrick at centre back.
Honestly, like, so the injury thing, and we're still winning titles. So don't tell me
Yeah,
about.
I know, but even
I don't buy
But this is what I was
injuries.
saying. When we had
don't buy
Tuchel,
it.
we also had injuries, and we was never.
Every team has
we were
injuries.
never
Everyone has
double
injuries.
digits on the log.
Everyone has injuries.
Every team has injuries, bro. You're not the first team.
So
to get
listen,
No,
look,
no, but we have gang injuries. now.
So
you guys are playing Crystal Palace. Listen,
Shame.
if there's going to be a team that might,
4 p.m.
are you playing at home, right? No, you're playing there at Sellers Park.
Park.
Listen, Crystal Palace on a
Scared, Potter?
Crystal Palace are. I don't think they're in danger of going down. Kind of like Patrick Vieira. I think he's hit this little bump. He doesn't really know what to do with them.
But you can see what the plan is at Crystal Palace. You can see they're more shored up. There's more. But this happens.
It'd be interesting to see what happens if Crystal Palace do lose. We focus on the big teams, but just if Crystal Palace do lose, does Patrick Vieira suddenly get pressure on him? Because you've got Nottingham Forest, Leeds, Leicester are kind of a dumpster fire, but Wolves are kind of picking up form, and very quickly Crystal Palace could get dragged down. But by the same token, Crystal Palace beat Chelsea in a London derby.
Yeah.
Things get
Very-
very interesting for Potter.
but my thing is,
How he has not been fired?
what's firing Potter going to do?
What
No, I'm
What's-
sorry, guys.
What's he going to do?
I still want Potter out.
I
Like,
want to see.
No, the only reason you want Potter out is because he's not a big name.
So that's what
That's
I want.
the only reason you want him out.
That's-
He's not a bad manager. He's
So,
not a bad manager.
so Ryan, you think all of this Chelsea season turns, the injuries stop happening, the disjointed signings
Okay.
stop happening if they fire Potter?
I just want to ask, right? put the injuries aside from Potter, put everything aside from Potter that we've spoken about, being biased about it. In terms of actually changing things up, what has improved under Potter?
It's not Potter's fault, bro.
No. I'm saying as a coach, what has improved? There's nothing has been improved under Potter.
A lot of people make excuses for him of going, Potter is a training ground coach. He needs to spend time on, and look how many players he improved at Brighton. You look at this Brighton team. I don't think Brighton, to be honest with you, would be where they are without Potter. No. So I think if Potter had stayed, I think Potter, the recruitment, the succession planning at Brighton is elite, right?
It's
because they already knew after Potter who's next. De Zerbi comes in perfectly.
And it's like clockwork.
No, because he made them better. Because Brighton couldn't score goals.
Yes,
right?
That was the problem with them, yeah.
Brighton are the top scoring team in Europe in the past 5 seasons, well, past 5 weeks.
Yes.
Something like that, since the return of the World Cup. Okay, it's not a big case study to work off. But suddenly
in Europe, they
couldn't score goals. Suddenly they're the top scorers in Europe, right? So it kind of went, Potter got them here. De Zerbi, similar, but he tweaked a few things.
Yeah.
So,
and minor things, yeah.
So Potter is a training ground coach. And listen, poor guy, his first game got cancelled or delayed because of the Queen dying.
Yeah.
Right? Then he's into 3, 4, 5 games. I mean, he's
Champions
just weak.
Yeah.
Then you have the World Cup and half his squad goes.
Yeah.
More than half. Right? He hasn't had that time. But you know what? Boo-hoo puss, because that is elite level football. When you manage a big club, you don't get that, especially without a preseason.
Honestly, and also another thing, like Potter goes to Chelsea, and with all due respect to Brighton, you can't compare Chelsea caliber players with Brighton players, because Chelsea kind of players, they know this is a job. We win 5-0, it keeps on going. We don't get too high off it.
So, yeah, I'll let you finish your point, because I think we're in the same place. Because I want to be devil's advocate for Ryan. I want to be fair.
Yeah, we don't get it. But like Azom, you must understand what kind of a manager you're getting. Manage your expectations, guys. You can't expect Potter to be like Tuchel.
But by the same token, Chelsea know but Chelsea know who Potter is.
Yeah.
They know he's not going to turn things around. They know what type of players, because when you get to those clubs, a guy who plays for Brighton has got a very different personality to a guy who plays for Chelsea.
Absolutely.
And you need to be managed differently. So to Ryan's point, we go, how much? Oh, Senzo's going again off the backboard, off the glass,
but in
off the glass. This guy, and even called us. He made us look at him.
Even made us look at
he called us off the glass. That is impressive stuff. I'll go devil's advocate on you, Ryan. I'm a big fan of Pochettino still. Like, let's just talk about
same.
Right. Let's talk about the guys floating around. The only difference I think that makes what happens is that if there is player power, it is. You are not, and if we do go, just say Koulibaly and Sterling are the key guys that he wants. Unless you write them off, how do you get rid of Koulibaly and Sterling? You just signed them. They're in the end of their careers. They're on massive wages. Who takes them off your hands? And Newcastle aren't being stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one's paying 54 for Raheem Sterling.
So I'm telling you, Todd Bowley, you can have all that shit. This is not the NFL, right? Where this does not have. You are not getting rid of player. If you got 7 players, and we're talking at that level,
they want a whole squad clear out to try and establish Potter as the main guy, and they're still backing him. But
it's unrealistic. I'll play devil's advocate, Ryan.
Yeah.
The only reason I think comes in goes that you need, if say the name is Pochettino.
Yes.
And I'm telling you,
the only guys available. Yeah.
I'm telling you the patience, because this Chelsea project needs Champions League money. Especially when they're dropping fucking 100 million on 20-year-olds, right?
20-year-olds the world has never heard of.
This, FIFA, football, FUT 23 card players, because that seems like how they're playing, right? Yeah. The only difference goes, because there will be a point at this form, Chelsea are on relegation form, okay, where Bowley goes, how committed are you to Potter? Right, because you are not clearing out. If you're name-checking Koulibaly and you're name-checking Sterling, and you think that is going to create harmony, you think that's going to calm shit down, you think that's going to
We've been here at United.
The only difference is
we've been here at United.
You go to someone like Pochettino and you go, right, you've got the name, you know how to deal with egos.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to pull us around a little bit and go, fuck it, we'll go 6...
We'll take it for 6 months.
That's the only way I see it going. Because if you're name-checking players, you're making disjointed signings, you need to deal with egos. A Pochettino comes in and everyone kind of goes, okay.
Stop. Yeah.
At least they give him the time.
Yeah, he says stop because he's been here.
And goes, Potter, you're nobody. Pochettino, okay, you work PSG, you've handled, you've seen it before.
You've been at Tottenham, you got them to a Champions League final.
You know, and listen, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that's the only way I think a big name comes in and kind of like pumps the brakes. But then you know what? What happens? 18 months, rid of Pochettino.
Who's next?
But that's what Abramovich did.
but-
that was the Chelsea project.
But the thing is, Roman won games. Roman kept winning.
Senzo, isn't it they used to say Tuchel used to ruin our forwards? That's what the narrative was. Now the narrative is they're just not good players.
But
that's bullshit.
But I said this with Tuchel. I said Tuchel doesn't stay at clubs long. I said this at the beginning of the season. He won't be there.
Falls out. He falls
out. But you know what you're getting with Tuchel? You're getting a guy that knows how to win. And the thing is with Chelsea, do you know what the problem is with Chelsea? I don't know what they want to be. Are we a long-term team or do we want to win now?
No, but you see,
the signings are long-term signings.
We don't have time for long-term. We need now.
I don't believe there's long-term anymore. I don't believe there's a thing of dynasty where you're signing ready-made, you're winning. Chelsea need to do first year building up, second year title challenge, third year title.
What other
It has to be a three-way. It has to be
unless you're coming from the bottom and you're building up. Chelsea have always been in the top 5.
And the guys come from the bottom building up. As soon as you build something, you get asset stripped.
Yeah.
As soon as you're onto something, they're going to rip you. So that's just the cycle. Chelsea do not. They're signing players for the long term. They've got this plan for the long term. That fan base is big.
No, they're making bad signings and they're tying them down to long-term contracts to say, look at the books.
Also,
look at the books.
Look at
the books.
Exactly. Trust is earned, right, in management. And I'm looking at Potter and I'm like, we're not winning. With Tuchel, we were winning.
Tuchel's established. You can't compare Potter and Tuchel.
But there's the problem right there.
No, Ryan, you are the problem right there.
No.
That's the problem with Chelsea.
Yes.
You have got a spoilt fan base.
They don't know how to manage their expectations.
You've had sugar daddies since the early 2000s. You have been raised on a sugar daddy.
He doesn't know anything else.
You guys do not.
He doesn't know
I'm
anything
going back
else.
2 generations, and United feel the same thing. I'm going back 2 generations of Chelsea fans from the early 90s when Ken Bates came in and saved the club and started bringing the glamour for the first time. You guys have the money.
Yeah.
Okay. You've had money. You've had
You
success.
were never bad, but you weren't dynastic.
And suddenly it's under threat.
Yeah.
They lose a few games and they start turning on Graham Potter.
And then he's like...
Chelsea fans are the problem.
They are the problem.
I stand by my club, and Potter needs to get the hell out of there.
All right, gents. Listen, we want to give this into people's ears for their Sunday afternoon listening. This is Working Title FC Sunday edition. We weren't affected by the church. Ryan wanted to do something with Chat GPT. I did Chat PTP instead today. Yes. So I think we'll hold that over till next episode. Gents, anything you want to close off? Last final thoughts for the show.
Pray for Chelsea. Potter out today.
Get down to the church. Put your tithe in. Potter's going to walk out with a fat wad of cash.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, bro.
He's got the
30 million
London money,
pounds.
boy.